Okay, so today's tomato review is going to be on this tomato right here, and this is called the Porter tomato. And this is a semi-commercial, readily available type tomato. It's generally used a lot in farmers markets and also in the commercial industry. It's a very good producing tomato, and it's just a very nice slicer tomato. It makes good for a very good market more type tomato. It's the kind of tomato, if you're going to grow tomatoes and you want to bring them to the market for sale and save all your other heirlooms for something else, this would be the tomato to use. Let me back you out a little bit. This would be the tomato you want to bring to the markets because generally it's a pretty big, popular and big seller. It's a heavy producer. You can offer it for a really good price, and in the end, you're not losing a lot of very delicate and valuable heirlooms that you got to end up selling for a lot less when you bring them to farmers markets. Like, for example, if you're going to bring a whole basket full of these, which are mint julep tomatoes, not many people are going to buy them. They might buy a small little container of them out of nostalgia, but most people are going to farmers markets to buy these tomatoes for food consumption, really. I mean, they want to make sauces, they want to make salads, they want to freeze them, they want to dry them, they want to make all kinds of things with these tomatoes. So they're looking for a good price per pound type tomato, and this is probably one of the better ones to do it with. And the seed, for example, with this particular tomato, though it is a commercially grade, readily available tomato, it's also, like a market tomato for most farmers. If you grow this tomato in like a hydroponics hothouse environment, you're going to get very perfect uniform type tomatoes like this. Very pink, very uniform, and you're going to get a lot of them. And so it's a very good commercial grade tomato as well. The good thing about this, though, is that the seed doesn't cost you $4 per seed. For example, a lot of commercial grade tomato seeds that are bought and purchased to grow tomatoes, 10 acres of land or something like that, those seeds cost those farmers roughly anywhere between $2 to $4 or even higher per seed. So because of that reason, and they have to buy those seeds. That's part of the contract that they make with, I don't know, pick one, Walmart, any of these food chains, big food chains, they got to supply those tomatoes. They're told to buy a certain tomato, and that tomato seed that they got to buy, it costs anywhere between $2 to $4 per seed. So they have to buy it. They can't even save the seed for it because it's part of their contract that they can't reuse the seed from their tomato. They have to buy new seed every year. That's part of the contract. So that's why when you buy, if you buy commercial grade tomato seed, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's why you don't generally see commercial grade tomato seed for sale in the store, because it's not generally readily available to consumers as a home garden thing. Those tomatoes are mostly designed and engineered to work for very large tomato fields where they're resistant to specific diseases and soil conditions, usually within the area or environment that it's being bought for and grown. So just keep that in mind. That's really a big differentiation between the commercial grade tomatoes and a lot of the heirlooms or hybrids you buy. In this particular case, this is a semi-commercial grade tomato, meaning that some farmers will actually grow this tomato and offer it to local vendors to sell their tomatoes or to buy their tomatoes by the ton or the bushel or however they're going to sell it for a very cost-effective price, because they didn't have to pay $3 to $4 per seed. A lot of farmers can make back their money selling locally rather than going to, big contract deals where you're selling to Costco's and Walmart, food towns and superfood towns and those kind of places. You get a good price on these tomatoes, and they grow very well in most conditions, providing you still see some cracking because of the rain, whereas a lot of the commercial grade tomatoes, you won't see any cracking because they're bred to reduce that cracking based on their environment and their rainfall. Anyway, let's take a look at the inside. As you see, there's your center right there. Look at that. Isn't that nice? That's a nice little tomato. This is a great little slicer, guys. Now, I do a lot of reviews on, a lot of really strange tomatoes like this, for example. I really like to grow some of the freaky tomatoes, and that's fun, and that's all good. But I also want to bring to you a lot of the very common tomatoes as well, because it's practical in most cases. It's not practical for you to grow a 100 of these plants of a tomato like this and try to slice that and put on your burger, it just doesn't work. You're still going to need tomatoes for everyday use, salads, hamburgers, sandwiches. You need that tomato for that. Now, yeah, if you're making sauces, it doesn't matter that much because you can get good flavors out of hollow tomatoes as well as slices or beefsteak tomatoes. You can really get a good flavor all the way around. But for general purpose use, you still want to grow at least a couple of these general purpose type tomatoes like this, so you can make your sandwiches and your hamburgers, and you got guests, you want to put it in salads. This is a great type of tomato for that. So without any further ado, let's go and do a bricks on it. Okay, so this is 5 on a bricks. That's not bad for a tomato this size. So it's just not as high in sweetness. Again, that could be some environmental conditions. And so we got a piece right here. According to the bricks, this is going to be semi-low, but we'll see how it looks. But you can see it's got wilding in the rinds. Seeds are fully attached to the rind, and it's very juicy. So that's a good combination right there. My mouth is watering. Let's give it a go. But that's a gorgeous, look at this. Look at the inside of that. Tell me that doesn't look good to you. You think you're going to get that from a store? Maybe a farmer's market you might. You ain't getting that from Walmart or any other supermarket. Even those tomatoes that are bred for perfect uniformity, even those tomatoes right there are not going to be as good as this. I guarantee you that. So let's give that a go and see what it tastes like. That one had a nice uniform balance on it. This one's a little tangy. I think this one just needed to ripen up a little longer. So just sit them on your windowsill until you can convert those starches over to sugars. And a lot of times that'll do it within a few days. Some people tell you to put it in a bag. I don't know what happened. My camera cut off on me. So I'm not sure where I left off. But I'm going to pick it back up right from here. Basically just end the video with, I definitely think that the porter tomato is a good tomato to grow. And if you do grow it, try to grow it in full sunlight by itself. Keep about 3 to 4 feet all the way around the plant, and make sure that you just generally keep the plant clear from blight and everything else, and you should literally end up with a ton of tomatoes. I mean, I got a lot of tomatoes off this one plant. If you grow 10 of these plants, you're going to have more tomatoes than you know what to possibly do with. So anyway, that is a quick tomato review on the porter tomato. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.